So let's bring the process alive a little bit more then. When a new client comes to you, how do you go about assessing what they need, and what's the philosophy that you take to that problem?
Yeah, great question. I think the first bit I'll start with is that often the call we get is we think we need some management training or some leadership development. And my first question is, what's led you to that? Like, how have you got to this point? And quite often, the trigger can be, we just had an engagement survey that hasn't gone particularly well. There are a few more questions that come from me after that, but actually, there's a pain point, which is something around growing pains. We're a growing, fast growth business. We're either growing, across geographies or just in pure headcount, and we've got a bunch of individual contributors that now are responsible for other humans, and they've never been trained how to do that. So that's one thing. Or we've got a culture that is experiencing some transformation, some change, and our leaders and managers are just not tooled up to be able to kind of deal with that effectively. So the first thing we do is we resist the temptation to say, great, we've got this lovely off-the-shelf program, because I just know in my experience that off-the-shelf leadership development programs can be great in terms of classroom experience or virtual delivery experience, but they're not going to land meaningful change. Yeah. So the very first thing we do is a diagnostic to really understand, like, where is the business at the moment in terms of their leadership capability, and then aspirationally, like, where do they need to get to? Not want to get to, but where do they need to get to? So if they're looking for, an exit in 3 to 5 years, and they're thinking about succession planning, then that's gonna elicit a very different prescription from our side than if it's a family business that they want to carry on for the next 25 years, for example.